The debate around Stage 3 tax cuts is showing no signs of letting up. Peter Dutton accusing Albanese of using the changes to the cuts as a way to help recover from a hit in the polls, also saying the coalition's position on tax reforms will come in due course. I filed this report a little earlier. A key election promise broken. Stage 3 tax cuts to be redesigned.
We have a plan that we will put to the Parliament of every Australian taxpayer getting a tax cut.
The government hard at work pitching to convince Aussies and also the Parliament of Stage 3 tax cut reforms.
Bigger tax cut for more than 11 million Australians.
Including 2.9 million Australians who were going to get nothing.
But the pushback is on.
It's obvious when you look at the design of the Stage 3 tax cut broken promise, what he's replaced it with. It's squarely designed to try and shore up their numbers in Dunkley.
Fresh attacks headed towards the PM over the promise.
The liar in the lodge.
In 2018, it was announced by the then coalition government a three-stage tax cut plan. Stage 1 and Stage 2 already passed through. Stage 3, already legislated, originally forecast to cost the government around $324 billion.
The Deputy Leader of the Liberal Party actually said, a direct quote, "We will fight this legislation in the Parliament. We don't even know what it will look like."
But what does this all mean? Well, from July 1, the wealthier will see their tax cuts halved, but bolsters the benefits for those earning less than $145,000 a year. The government will reduce the 19% tax rate to 16%, reduce the 32.5% tax rate to 30%, increase the threshold above which the 37% tax rate applies from $120,000 to $135,000, increase the threshold above which the 45% tax rate applies from $180,000 to $190,000. To break that down, those on the original plan who earned $30,000 would have received nothing. Instead, under the changes, they will receive $354. Those earning $60,000 will see an extra $804. Those on $90,000 will see a jump to $1,929, an $804 increase. And those on $120,000 will see an increase to $2,679. Those on $150,000 will see a 246% difference than the previous plan. Those earning above $190,000 will see their tax cuts halved, going from $9,075 to $4,529.
Australians are looking for more help. Australians deserve more help, and today I can confirm that more help is on the way.
Treasury documents obtained by 6 News do point out that the redesign will not have an impact on inflation, all as the Labor government work on easing cost of living pressures.
When economic circumstances change, the right thing to do is to change economic policy.
Although the coalition hasn't specifically stated their position on the cuts, the Labor government will need them or the Greens, but that isn't likely.
As this now works its way through the Parliament, we'll be asking, is this really the best that Labor can do?
We know that it's not just 1.8 million people who are worse off under this package, but over the coming years it's going to be over 4 million Australians.
Okay. The government will leave the door open for talks with the Greens and also crossbenchers in a bid to get changes through the Parliament. But the big risk for the government is although Australians will accept the tax cuts, the wound of a broken promise could leave a stain.
We'll wait and see. We'll wait for them to go through their mechanisms as we'll talk with all of the crossbenchers. People on average incomes getting double what they were going to get before.
You should call an election and put the change position to the Australian people.
Austin Pollock, 6 News.